So, it is time again. It's Thursday, just like we promised.
Yeah,
we actually kept a promise this time. We said we were going to record this on Thursday, and it's by my non-existent clock. It is Thursday.
Yeah.
My name is Chris Mayer-Heltman. With me, I have the technical savage.
Yeah, the
one and only, the Arab Spring.
Spring, yeah.
And we're going to talk about One Night Only GFW Amped. And, some background here, as we talked about, I think, at the last episode. Amped was the television show that was supposed to be for GFW.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When Jeff Jarrett ran GFW by himself, after he got bought out from Impact TNA, and he started his own company, and then he started GFW together with his wife Karen, which was basically like I'm thinking it was supposed to be the way TNA was back in the day, like old school TNA, because there was a lot of TNA people in it. They didn't have any record deal or any TV deals. They only had a bunch of. They went all over the world to look for wrestlers of different kinds. That's why there's so many different people from different nations, and that's why it's called global wrestling. And then I think they also had a bunch of TV deals with other nations and other countries, but they didn't have in order to even have a program to sell to other countries, they had to have a television deal in the States, and that never happened. And they were on their way. I guess I don't know what the ins and outs were, but what happened was that they ended up recording all these TV episodes in different and produced them. Mm-hmm. So they just had something to sell when it was time, and that's why it looks so. Basically, what we saw here was I think I tried to count it out, 4 half-hour shows in one episode here, and then there's going to be 4 GFW Amped One Night Onlys. So there's going to be 3 or more of these.
Wow.
So the thing is that what's interesting here is that you'll have a chance to see some wrestlers that used to be in TNA back in the day, but also some people, we got to see Congo Kong fight for a longer match, actually, to see what he could do. And then you'll see a lot of wrestlers that are in the WWE right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there was some. I remember Kushida from when he was facing. I don't know, but I remember
Kushida's in New Japan.
Oh, he's from New Japan.
Yeah, and he's been in ROH. So you might have seen him in ROH.
Yeah, ROH, Ring of Honor. That's it. Yeah. I remember Bullet Club as well.
Yeah, the Bullet Club is a big New Japan faction. AJ Styles was in the Bullet Club, for instance, and Cody Rhodes was in the Bullet Club, or I think he still is in the Bullet Club. But let's jump into this, and I mean, this is going to be a shorter episode just because it's mostly just the matches. Yeah, we'll try to rate them on a star system of 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we started with One Night Only. First of all, did you like Amped?
I like it because, I liked it, and that's because of the matches. They were a lot longer, and you could actually see what the wrestlers actually wanted to do. Sometimes in Impact Wrestling, they only get 4 or 5 minutes. So here, I was happy to see this. Yeah.
Good. Plus, it gives you a little bit of background for Impact. You'll probably see some of these guys come back to Impact. Like the Akbars, for instance, there's been rumors that they're going to come back. Yeah. That they're going to come to. But I don't know if that's true. And I don't know what I think of that because I don't know if they were that great. But we'll talk about them later. Yeah, and so you had the announcers, Chael Sonnen, who is I can't remember what the other guy was called, but Chael Sonnen is like an MMA fighter from the beginning. He's from the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So they were there. I don't know what you thought of the commentators.
A bit annoying, to be honest.
I just didn't find that they understood. They didn't like the wrestling. They didn't seem to understand. Like they didn't call out any like really moves or anything. I mean, they did.
I don't know. They were like Josh and JB because they were
back and forth. Yeah,
but I didn't like it. It was not as good as when Josh and JB are fighting. So I don't know. It was a bit annoying.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? They talk about the next gen championship tournament. Next gen championship was the kind of X division championship. Their version of the X Division Championship, the light heavyweight champ, but it was called the Next Gen. The first match was Sanada versus PJ Black. Background there, Sanada was in TNA for a while as the Great Sanada, and then now I think he might be in New Japan or something like that now. And PJ Black, he used to wrestle in the WWE.
Oh,
yes. How did you like this match? So they were actually one from Japan and one from South Africa. PJ Black is from South Africa. How did you like this match?
I think it was a good match, but I was disappointed because, to be honest, there wasn't that much that happened.
No.
What do you say?
Well, I mean, for some reason, I gave it 4 stars, but I'm kind of questioning myself now because I don't really remember that it was that great. I think I would give it a 3 stars actually. I mean, Sanada, he's a really great wrestler. He's a good wrestler, and he's really coming into his own in Japan. And this is the problem. This was the problem with Impact Wrestling. They had a wrestler called Okada there.
Okay.
Or Okado, I think they called him in the show. But he's like the biggest name in Japanese wrestling today. Oh. And they didn't do anything with him in Impact. And it was kind of the same with Sanada. He's a big deal now. But like he was very poorly used in Impact. He became like James Storm had this following called the Revolution, where he was kind of like a cult leader. Mahabali Shira, Sanada, TJ Perkins, or Manic as he was called, was it the guy who was Suicide was in it, I would say. And somebody else, I can't remember. But I mean, the thing was that they used him poorly.
Yeah.
But in here, I don't know. I think 3, that it was good technical, but I would have liked to see more, and especially from like a next gen match, more high flying, more, and we see some matches that are more like that later.
Now I'll give it 3 as well.
Then we have a vignette for Kevin Cross, who'd been wrestling for 1 year, and he's going to face Bobby Roode. I've only heard the name. I've never seen Kevin Cross wrestle before, so there was nothing. Nothing. We had a promo from Los Luchadores, some really weird-looking Mexican dudes.
Yeah, they were special. I mean, it was just a normal.
They were just basically talking. Bobby Roode comes out saying that he's always, and that's a big deal because Bobby Roode's a big deal. He's probably one of like the best wrestlers today. Bobby Roode.
Okay.
Technically, you have AJ Styles, who's a great wrestler, and Bobby Roode's on the same level. It's just that they're very different in their styles. Right. Bobby Roode he was in NXT, and just this week he was promoted to the SmackDown roster, so he's on the main roster of the WWE. Nice. But anyway, he talks about that he always has been, and he always will be a TNA guy. And this is funny because he's not a TNA guy now.
He's not?
No, he's a WWE guy. So
that's funny. But I mean, he talks shit about the global.
He talks
GFW. Yeah, he talks. He just. Yeah, he's bullying.
Why did he get? And the thing is that doesn't make any sense. Why is he there then? If he doesn't,
stupid. It's
Nick Aldis, the former Magnus, comes out because this is actually both Bobby Roode and Magnus have just left TNA when this was recorded.
Oh, okay.
And he comes out and he says that Rude should respect Jeff Jarrett and the fans. And then they start chanting "Dixie sucks."
Yeah.
The the audience.
Yeah. They don't give him support. I mean,
No. Well, the thing is, that what's weird here is that, I would almost have thought that they would have kind of re-edited these things because some of these things don't make sense.
Yeah,
because it's kind of presented as this was recorded just recently, but it isn't, because Dixie doesn't own TNA anymore. TNA doesn't even exist. Bobby Roode's in the WWE. I mean, it's all these weird ass things.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Why did they actually publish this? This is the question.
I think it was because a lot of people wanted to see it, but I think they could have published it in a different way.
Yeah.
Maybe. Not saying as this is part of, like, GFW,
Because, if, like you say, it feels like this was recorded, like, some days ago, and they just presented it to us now.
Yeah.
But
it's like years ago.
It's like years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, then your favorite, Congo Kong, comes out.
Yeah, he sneaks up behind and throws him, smashing
which
down
is
to the ground.
it's a big feat for a guy like Congo Kong to sneak up behind somebody.
Yeah, I was about to say,
his sneak level must be 60 something.
Yeah,
on Skyrim.
Yeah.
Maybe he has one of those necklaces that gives him plus 40.
Plus 40. Yeah. I mean, Kong just puts him down. Why? I don't know. Why
no, they never talk about that.
They never talk about that.
No.
And that's pretty much it.
And the Rude just picks up the scraps in the end of Anyway, yeah, that's it. We get our next match. And basically, so the shows are built up that you have only 2 matches, one in the beginning and one in the end. So if you look at how it's built up, and the thing is, what's interesting too is that they have like commercial breaks. They're like, we'll be right back in the middle of a match. But then nothing comes. And then that's because it was recorded to be on TV.
To be on TV, yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know this, that when you record, like, for instance, wrestling on TV, you have certain times that you have to put in a commercial. It's not like the TV network says, we're putting in a commercial now. And just break. Since it's not live.
But, yeah, don't go anywhere.
It's like
5 seconds after it starts.
I didn't even have time to go anywhere.
Exactly.
Where am I supposed to go? We had a trios match then. Shamu Jr., Blood Eagle, and Bestia 666. These are some great names.
They are some great names. They are great names.
Against Mysterioso Jr., Socre, and Phoenix Star. Interesting tidbit, Shamu Jr. was on a Miami Ink once and got himself a tattoo of a...
You serious?
Yes, of a killer whale, which is what his mask is. It's a killer whale.
Damn.
So, celebrity,
yeah.
How did you like this?
It was a great match. I'll give you that. There was a lot of action. That's what I liked. But at the same time, there weren't that many different moves.
No, it was a lot of like Hurricane Ranas and stuff like that. It wasn't the type of like Mexican lucha libre type of match that you would expect. It wasn't that high pace for a trios match. Winners are Los Luchas or Luchadores, and it's also announced that they're going to be in the tag team tournament. Yes, and then we go into show 2.
Yeah, show 2,
where we see Kushida versus Flynn. What was his name?
Bradley
Flynn?
Bradley Flynn? No.
I don't know. Flynn.
It was Flynn at least.
I was watching AIW the other day, and they have a character named Frankie Flynn, but this wasn't him. So that's why I kind of...
Yeah, well, we have Kushida.
Vincent Flynn? No.
It was some
Virgil Flynn. B?
I'm sure.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Obviously, he wasn't cool enough for us to remember what his name was. Mr. Flynn versus Kushida, and there was a promo from both of them. How did you like this match?
I think it was a great match. I think it was an awesome match. Both did good. They both did their actual best. They were actually fighting for it. And
I was thinking Flynn was going to get squashed. I mean, he looked a lot thinner, and this is like
he took a lot of hits.
No name kind of guy.
Like Kushida with his kicks.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really bringing the strong style. I gave it a 4-star match.
Yeah, I'll give it 4 as well.
Yeah,
it was great, but yeah, it's missing something.
that over the top
Yeah,
kind of thing.
to
I
get to
thought
the
that the
climax.
ending was kind of weird because
Yeah.
Kushida wins with a Kimura, like
Mhm.
a key lock on the arm, and there was no setup. He never worked the arm really,
No, really.
and he just all of a sudden he puts on a Kimura and he wins. It was really strange.
Yeah, 4, sure.
Sure. We had a vignette for the women's wrestlers. Apparently, there's only 3 women in GFW, so I mean, there's not much
Yeah,
to work with. It's Mickey James, Lady Tapa, and Christina Von Eerie. Mickey James, who was in TNA for a while, married to Magnus or Nick Aldis, and is now in the WWE. Back in the WWE, that's where she started.
Okay.
So there was a promo for that. Then we had another, and this was the thing with GFW. It was supposed to be like a show where you got like more in depth with the wrestlers, and that's why you have all these weird little promos with wrestlers or vignettes. They talk about their background and stuff like that. So it was supposed to be up close and personal with the wrestlers.
But at the same time, the promotions get so long.
Yeah, I found it,
Oh.
especially when you're watching them all like 4 episodes in a row. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was a half-hour show.
Yeah, exactly.
If we only saw the half hour, but now we're sitting and watching 2 hours.
It's like,
basically.
Yep.
So there was another Kevin Cross promo. There was an interview with Chris Mordetsky, or the guy who's Chris Adonis now in TNA. The Bollywood Boys came on. Yes, and they're actually in WWE now as well, where they're called the Singh Brothers.
Oh, okay, they changed name.
Yeah,
luckily.
Well, I mean, they came up with the name
Bollywood, really?
Well, they like Indian. I think it's funny that they were saying that we're not going to be like the typical, Indian wrestlers. And then there's Bollywood boys. I mean, can it be more Indian?
I was about to say, yeah.
It would be if they came out dressed as Curry Man and they were like the Curry Boys. I mean, it would be...
Curry Boys. Yo, what's up? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I always see Bobby Roode versus Kevin Cross. Or was this actually, was there 3 matches in this one? Or no, this was the last match for this show. Bobby Roode versus Kevin Cross. How did you like this?
Yeah, once again, a great match. Both had a lot of anger towards each other, so there was a lot of good moves and there was a lot of strength. But well, yeah, I mean, no, it actually wasn't that much.
I felt that it was obvious that Kevin Cross only was a year in, whereas to like Bobby Roode has like almost 15 years of wrestling experience. So I thought that was kind of obvious that Kevin Cross kind of didn't. I mean, he was good. He's good for being just a year in,
but you obviously a different.
Yeah. And then we see Roode win with the crossface. Does this make you miss Roode being in GFW? I mean, in Impact. I mean, would you have liked to see him? Do you think he could bring stuff to the table that he would make the roster better, or do you feel like a person like Bobby Roode, not being in GFW allows other? I mean, are there other people that could do stuff that Bobby Roode can do in Impact now, or does Impact need Bobby Roode?
I would say Impact need Bobby Roode. I mean, he has a big mouth, and that suits well with what he can do because he is really good, and he has the muscles and the body for it. So yeah, I would say so because there is not that many people like Bobby Roode.
No, I mean, because you have certain. I mean, there are good wrestlers in Impact. There are great wrestlers in Impact actually, but I think Impact needs people like Bobby Roode. That's why they have Lashley and EC3. They have Moose to a certain extent, but I think Moose is a different type of wrestler. He and you have Eli Drake and Patron, but I mean, you need another kind of good, solid worker that doesn't make too many mistakes. I mean, Moose doesn't make that much for mistakes, but you can see that he's still kind of green a little bit at times.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like Chris Adonis is there, but he doesn't really do much whenever he's in the ring. So you need somebody who can go. So to me, also Impact misses. I think Bobby Roode, longest reigning champion in. Heavyweight champion in Impact history.
They said that.
Yeah, he said that. The show ends with a promo from the Akbars. Your people. We were talking because we were talking a little bit. But we were talking about Idris Abraham, who has he's from Egypt, but he is of Arab descent, and I mean he doesn't play his Arabness so much. But how do you feel about like people like the Akbars that are obviously supposed to be some form of Arab stereotype? Does that offend you at all? Or do you? I mean, do you feel like that's because I would assume that people who are from India and look at the Bollywood boys and they're just like really, And how do you feel about that? Having that kind of background, maybe you don't identify too much as.
I mean, not really that much. Yeah, true. And I guess if they want to do it, it's up to them. I don't.
So it's nothing like you were like, oh, this again.
Well, yeah, kind of in a way because it went a bit overkill.
Yeah.
I mean, with everything and all that stuff.
Why do they have to have those things?
Yeah, I was about to say, geez. I mean, come on, you're supposed to go into the ring, get that shit off. But I mean, no, not really. I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but I don't think they're that great either. So
no, they weren't actually. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So we go into what would be show 3 then.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with a guy singing in the ring.
Yeah.
Did it do anything for you?
Not really. No, I think it was ridiculous and stupid and doesn't really belong. Sorry about that.
Henry Maxwell. Actually, I've seen him wrestle before under the name Maxwell Chicago.
Okay.
And that's kind of funny because he's supposed to have like this kind of Broadway personality. But when he wrestles, he has like a wrestling outfit that looks like a tuxedo. So it's kind of funny. But I mean, I guess here in GFW Amped at least he's just some kind of manager. But he is a wrestler, not a very good wrestler, but he's a wrestler nonetheless. And then the Bollywood boys come out, and then we have the Akbars versus the Bollywood boys.
Pretty much.
And we were talking about how they maybe it's the beard, or maybe it's the fact that they're losing their hair, or maybe it's just because they're very hairy overall, as Arabs tend to be. I'm sure you've seen your dad come out of the shower.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
But they looked really old. They looked like they were like 40 plus something.
Yeah. They're a bit too old for wrestling.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, not the. I guess it's because they seem. I mean, they might not be that old, but it's just like the way their bodies were shaped. They looked like they had dad bods, basically. So I thought that this match was, and it didn't do anything for me.
A bit pointless.
I didn't think. I mean, it was part of the GFW tag team tournament. I just didn't see that the Bollywood boys got to showcase what they could do. All the ridiculous. The Akbars, all they did was yell in I don't know, Persian, Arabic.
I think it was Arabic. I didn't understand. So yeah, I mean, they didn't have that many moves either way. So.
No,
I definitely agree with you. A little bit shit.
Yeah, we had a promo from Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah,
this was in the time Sanjay Dutt had been in Impact and had left, and he actually had left a while before this. Then we saw a vignette from Jigsaw and also from Chris Mordetsky. There's a lot of that stuff, a lot of talk again. Jigsaw, a wrestler that I've seen for many years in Shikara or Shikara Pro, as it might be called sometimes. I like him. I thought that it was cool that they brought him in. He's been in TNA too, but they called him Rubik's then, just because they didn't want to use his name. Karen Jarrett comes out.
Yeah, Karen Jarrett comes out and talks about the GFW, and wants to include ladies and whatnot. She's there to make sure, yada yada yada. But we have someone,
Lady Tapa.
coming out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lady Tapa and
Her manager
her manager
and husband, I guess.
husband as well, right?
Yeah.
Weird as yeah, that was weird. And she, what was her problem now again? I forgot. She wanted a title shot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
She came at bitching just for that.
Wouldn't you?
I would. Karen Jarrett is.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah.
She always seeks revenge. I'm not going.
Yeah, she was talking. I mean, the manager was bitching about that. They talked about that division, but they hadn't talked about Mickey James being in the division. And Mickey James is a big deal when it comes to women's wrestling. So that was that. Then we got into the main event, which was Lady Tapa versus Christina Von Eerie versus Mickey James. So all three of them. I didn't understand if this was not for the title, but still all the women on the roster were there.
Yeah. It was just a bit weird, and I just don't understand why you would just come out and just bitch about a title shot. I think it was unnecessary. I don't know.
So we had Lady Tapa versus Christina Von Eerie versus Mickey James. How did you like this match?
Well, I think Tapa did great. She had a lot of strength.
Yeah.
Well, she is very heavy built as well, so I could
She's
understand.
a huge woman.
She's a huge woman. Yeah. So she did great. Well, kind of great. And I think Mickey, she never gave up. She kept on trying.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last female we have Christina. She performed pretty bad.
Yeah, actually, I didn't. I was also. But we were
yeah.
saying that when she was in Impact, when she was fighting Sienna for the unified title,
Yeah,
the women's side, that she wasn't actually that impressive.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is. I mean, she's been around for a long time, so she should be, good at this. But this might actually be one of the reasons why she isn't part of any like major promotion.
I would say so, yeah. This is a huge problem. I mean, if she doesn't really want to wrestle, it seems like, and she's pretty weak. I mean, if you compare it to Mickey was trying and, never giving up, kept going.
And had some good moves and a lot of experience and stuff like that. But Christina Von Eerie wins with a backstabber. This match was okay to me. I didn't think that it was great.
Yeah.
And she cuts a promo saying that she's going to get the title.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, she does. Spoiler alert. I mean, she is the one who is the GFW champion. When she comes to Impact, she's held the championship.
Oh, yeah.
And then we come to the final show, which starts with a next-gen tournament match. Jigsaw versus Sanjay Dutt. How did you like this match?
I think Sanjay Dutt did really good, and I think he always does that.
Yeah,
I am really impressed. I remember from the beginning when I saw him, it was a bit sloppy, but now I really changed my mind. I'm really happy with him. He's a really good wrestler. Jigsaw, however,
you didn't like. I like Jigsaw, but maybe it's because I like him from when I've seen him before. The one problem I find with Jigsaw is that he's very tall, and he works kind of an X Division style.
Mm-hmm.
He's more, and that's why he's in the next gen tournament. But I just I would like to see him maybe. He's a little bit too thin, He's so tall,
but very
and it makes it very, very small, and it makes it weird when he does these kind of high flying moves. That's always been But I mean, I thought that they put on a good match. Jigsaw wins with the Jig and Tonic.
Nice finishing.
Nice finishing maneuver. And then he, that's what it is. I thought it was, a 3 stars, I think, for the hard work. But, it wasn't overly impressive.
Yeah. 3 stars, yeah.
Then we have a Congo Kong vignette. Just showcasing Congo Kong.
Pretty much.
And then we have a promo from Jigsaw talking about how he's so happy now he can win the match or win the whole thing.
Blah, blah, blah.
And then we have the Dutt comes out and congratulates him and stuff like that. And then Reno Scum. We have a vignette for Reno Scum.
Yeah, but he wasn't. I didn't see him in the episode. Is he coming in the next episode?
Reno Scum is probably going to be in the next
episode. Oh, next.
But it's like Christopher Adonis or Chris Mordetsky. They had a bunch of promos for him, and he wasn't in it. And then we actually had Congo Kong versus Nick Aldis with Henry Maxwell. Henry Maxwell claimed that Congo Kong was his best friend.
Oh, yeah, that guy in the suit, right?
The
guy who's like almost crying and whatnot. I think it was interesting, this match. I don't know if it was that good. It's kind of good, I guess.
I thought it was nice to get to see some different types of moves from Congo Kong. I mean, he looked more vicious in this match than he has in any of his squash matches. I mean, he really he just laid into Magnus by like hitting him in the kidneys, hitting him in the throat. There was a lot of viciousness, kind of more like of a savage, you know.
But at the same problem we have, the problem I saw here with Kong is that after like maybe 10 minutes, he starts to get tired and he gets sloppy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's just a sad part.
Yeah,
because he is a good wrestler, nonetheless. So yeah.
Nick Aldis wins this and goes on in the World Global Championship tournament. He uses this spine shaker, which is impressive that he could lift.
Yeah, Kong, that was impressive. He did, I think, a couple of times.
Yeah,
took him up.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
So, what would you rate GFW Amped one night? Does this get? I mean, did this does this get you excited for the 3 remaining Amped?
That's a lot, but I guess because I would like to see more from Sanjay Dutt.
Well, he's out of the tournament.
Well, wait,
but he might wrestle anyway. I don't know what the I don't know what the matches are going to be like.
Yeah, because he lost. Yeah. He's out.
You'll get to see more PJ Black and Bobby Roode. At least.
Well, PJ Black was all right. Yeah, Christina won this year.
Yeah, but I think that was just like we're going to see more Christina Montieri. But I mean, it's just that this was just a showcase match. I think
it was okay. I don't know.
You see more Bollywood boys.
I would like to see more Kushida, I guess.
Yeah, you won't see more Akbars though. I don't think.
That's just great. That's just good. This is
just they might come to Impact.
Hopefully not. To Impact, I'm not. God damn. But I have a hard decision to actually say if I'm excited or not. But what would you rate this show?
I think I would give it a 3. I think it was tiring to get through.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good show, but overall, just because of the format, I wish they could have edited it together in a different way. Maybe told a different story. Maybe make it more documentary style. Like this is what Amped was or GFW was before, but not like this. This didn't do it for me. Put in more different commentators, maybe announcers.
Oh, yeah, that was very bad.
Not one of the better. But I say it's recorded a long time ago. It is what it is. But I'd give it like maybe a C.
Yeah, C. Solid C.
Yeah. Well, tonight it's Impact again. GFW Impact. We'll probably see it tomorrow, and we maybe talk about it on Sunday if we have time to watch it.
Yep.
It'll be interesting also because now they announced last week. I don't know if you caught that now they're going to come out with a worldwide Impact or GFW app that you can download and you can watch it.
Josh said that, right?
Yeah,
I think
that'd be really good because then you don't have to like stream it illegally if you don't live in the US and stuff like that. They really need that because they need to get. And I see, if you look at the WWE network, that almost has 2 million subscribers worldwide. I mean, and WWE is a big deal. I think that Impact can get more,
even more,
because you can see it everywhere. People in Sweden or in most European countries can't see Impact, and I think a lot of them would want to. So they'd probably get more subscribers than just. I mean, if you think of so WWE has 2 million worldwide that subscribe to their app.
Yeah. So I mean,
but the Impact and the WWE are on. That's probably because they're on TV all over. I mean, you can see WWE in India, you can see it in Germany, you can see all these places. And the Impact, you can't see it that many places.
That's a major issue.
And as long as Impact can put out more content, if they start putting out an Explosion and stuff like that on that app, I think they do more than 2.
Then too,
2
yeah,
million.
because I mean, you have all the European countries, and if they can actually download the app, that will be a lot of people. So yeah, I think that's a really good thing. Like you say, you don't need to stream it illegally and whatnot. So yeah, a good plus.
So tonight, it's gauntlet for the gold. We'll see who ends up the world heavyweight champion. We'll have a new world heavyweight champion tonight. And Grado is going to have his farewell speech.
Are you serious? Is it?
Well, that's what they said.
That's what he said. Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, hopefully.
Laurel Van Ness has come to her senses,
Yeah.
as it were. Well, anyway, you can continue to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Leave us a comment if you like what we do. But for now, we'll talk to you later.
Yep.